Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamini Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunnavadi Paschatadeshatarine. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Tumi to mari bejare, ketare rakhite pare. Tumi to mari bejare, ketare rakhite pare. Vaichava stri bhuvana, Ichava satri bhuvana. Brahmayadi devagana, Tava dasa aganana, Kare tava agaro palana, Kare tava agaro palana. Tava icha mate jata, Rahagana abhirata, Tava icha mate jata, Rahagana abhirata. Subha subha phala kare dana, Subha subha phala kare dana. Roga sukha mriti bhai, Tava icha mate hai. Roga sukha mriti bhai, Tava icha mate hai. Tava aga sada bolo bana, Tava aga sada bolo bana. Tava icha bhai bhai, Chandra surja samodai. Tava bhai vayu bhai, Chandra surja samudai. Sasaniyame karja kare, Sasaniyamita karja kare. Tumita parameshara, Parabrahma paratpara. Tumita parameshara, Parabrahma paratpara. Tava vasa bhagata antare, Tava vasa bhagata antare. Sada shuddha siddhakam, Bhagata vatsalanam. Sada shuddha siddhakam, Bhagata vatsalanam. Bhakata janaryanita swami, Bhakata যারে কে তারে মারিতে পারে তুমি তো রাখিবে যারে কে তারে মারিতে পারে সকল বিধির বিধি তুমি সকল বিধির বিধি তোমার চরণে নাথ করিয়াছে প্রণিপাত তোমার চরণে নাথ করিয়াছে প্রণিপাত ভকতি বিনোদ তব দাস ভকতি বিনোদ তব দাস বিপদ হইতে স্বামী অবশ্য তাহারে তুমি বিপদ হইতে স্বামী অবশ্য তাহারে তুমি রক্ষিবে তাহার এ বিশ্বাস রক্ষিবে তাহার এই বিশ্বাস Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivrajagacharya Ashtadara Shatasi Srimad Srila Bhai Charna Ravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय नमाचार्य श्रीलदास ठाकुर की जय प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्यामकुंड राधा कुंड गिरी गोवर्धन की जय वृंदावन मथुरा धाम की जय मायापुर नवद्वीप धाम की जय जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय अलाचंडी धाम की जय भगवद गीता जूम भक्त वृंद की जय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, Prabhus and mothers. Nice to see you all on the Zoom.
Hare Krishna.
So I'll read the translation of the song that I was singing, composed by His Divine Grace Bhakti Vinod Thakur. It's relevant to this chapter. Translation. Who can protect that person whom you wish to slay? The three worlds are obedient to your will. The gods headed by Brahma are your countless servants and stand ready to execute your command. By your will, the planets exercise their auspicious or inauspicious influences. Illness, grief, death, and fear occurs by your will. Your command is all powerful. In fear of you, the wind blows, the sun, moon, and all other perform their allotted duties. You are the Supreme Lord, the Supreme Spirit, the Supreme above all. Your residence is in the heart of your loving devotee. You are eternally pure. All your desires are fulfilled. Your name is Bhakta Vatsal, for you are very affectionate to the Vaishnavas. You are the eternal Lord of your loving devotees. Who can slay that person? Who can slay that person whom you wish to protect? You are the law of all laws. O Lord, your eternal servant Bhakti Vinod has bowed down at your lotus feet. O Master, he cherishes the faith that you will surely protect him from all danger. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So, dear devotees, let us begin our Bhagavad Gita by invoking the wonderful Mangalacharan, Guru, Vaishnav, and Bhagavan. Tinera Smarane Hai Sarva Vinasan. If we can remember three personalities, Prabhupada, Vaishnavas who helps you in your spiritual life, and Lord Krishna, then all the unwanted thing will be destroyed in your life. So let us begin. Om Ajnanati Mirandhasa Genanjana Salakayam Chakshur Unimnilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurube Namam Sri Chaitannamano Vishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadatisha Padantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Jutapada Kamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanitam Tam Sajivam Sadaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakha Nitangsha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunnavadi Paschata Deshatarine Vancha Kalpa Taruvesha Kripa Sindhubhaya Vacha Patitanam Pavanibho Vaishnavebho Namo Namo Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Binda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Okay. Dear devotees, we are on chapter 8, Bhagavad Gita. I hope you have Bhagavad Gita in front of you. And we have finished 5. Yes, we are beginning 6. So I would like someone to help us with this studying the sloka 6. Just to refresh where we left from last week. This chapter looks like 28 verses. Yes. So we discussed last 1 week or 2 weeks. 2 weeks, we talked about text 1 was Arjuna's question to Krishna, Supreme Lord, to explain the terms mentioned at the end of the previous chapter, chapter 7, 29 and 30, 2 sloka. What is Brahman? What is Adhatma? Brahman means the soul, supreme soul. What is Adhatma? Means what is the nature of the self. What is karma? Karma means activity related to the changing of the body. The soul does not have a karma. I hope. But soul misidentify avidya karma sangyana tritiya shakti ishyate Vishnu shakti para prakta khetragya tata para. In that verse it says that avidya karma, avidya, ignorance produce the karma. Actually soul does not have ignorance. So the body is constantly changing. The soul is not changing. So activity related to the changing bodies are called karma. Of course, if you ask somebody what is karma, they will say, the entire America, even in the stock market, there is a karma guru. I remember somebody told me the stock market in Dow Jones industry has. So karma means do something to get something. This is a common understanding. Karma means do something to get something. And if you go to religious society, they will say karma means when you follow the scripture, according to scripture you do, not knowing the purpose of the scripture. So they do. But if you ask the Hare Krishna devotee, I hope majority Hare Krishna devotee knows, karma means avidya karma sangyana. So long you have a desire to enjoy separately from God, whatever activities you do, it's called karma. We don't want karma. Karma is not activities. It is the action, consciousness behind the action. So long you have a separate desire from God, it is karma, whatever it is. I mean, there can be good karma, bad karma. It's not all bad. Helping the poor and needy people, some people think that's a karma they want to do. Yeah, you can. But then you have to come back as a poor. If you come back as a poor, so you can get the reward that you helped last life to the poor and needy people. So you come back as a poor and then you get a super lotto. Here you go. Would you like to come back? Or born in a rich family, whatever. And then text 2, and then also another question was, what is the declared to be adibhuta? Means what is this material nature? Material nature. Material nature is a place where the exploitation or you have your idea about God, I have my idea. Everybody has their own idea about God. We don't want to go along. Whenever you see a community where everybody has a one idea how to please God every way, everywhere, every how, that is called spiritual world. And when you have a facility where, hey, you do your way, come on, I respect your God, you should respect my God. Let's put a good fence to have a good neighborhood. So it sounds good. Polytheism or whatever, all kinds of idea. So that's called material world. Is Maya needed? Yes, Maya is needed to exercise everybody's own opinion. But when you say, I'm tired of that, Vrindavan or spiritual world means everybody has a one idea, not two or three. How to please God all the time, everywhere, everywhere. And material world means I am for me, you are for you, like this. So that's Adibhuta. Then what is said to be Adidaiva? Who are the controller of the demigods. So we discussed that. Means who controls sun. Like I'm speaking right now, the fire god is controlling my speech, and then air god is carrying to you through the Zoom. There's so many god control. There's 14 god demigods. Brahmaji mentioned in Bhagavatam 14 chapter 10th canto. Then the next part was, Radha. Okay. Next part, the second question, second sloka was, what is Adi Jagna? What is the purpose of life? In Bengal, they say, Hesikale Jibanta Judi Chale Jai. Some or other enjoy life by laughing, joking, and it's okay. You pass the life like this, then is your success. But they cannot see what happened after death. You come back as a mice or a cockroaches, that they don't have any clue. So that's not true. So purpose of life should be sacrificing. For who? That is the question. If you either sacrifice for some God, those who are in the highest platform, they sacrifice for Lord Vishnu or Krishna. And that's it. So I hope you all remember. First is what is Brahman? First question. Second question is what is Adhatma? What is the self or the nature of the soul? And third is what is karma. Fourth is what is material nature. Fifth is what are the demigods? And who is the object of worship or love? And how does he reside in the body? So these are the 7 questions, which is actually prerequisite to think of Krishna at the moment of death. Then the third sloka, Krishna talks about Brahman is imperishable. He answered the first question. First question answered. Yeah, that's right. And then action that leads formation of the living being, material bodies. And then he answered also the what is karma. Then text 4, I'm going very fast because all you are aware of it, I'm assuming. It's only 1 week. Last Wednesday we talked. And text 4 talked about Adi Bhuta. Adi Bhuta means this material nature. I already spoke about it just now. And Adi Deva means who are the demigods. Or you can say divine agent, runs, operates. You know, you have to breathe. Breathing means oxygen. It doesn't come automatically. You don't produce oxygen. The trees, you may say what trees produce. They take carbon dioxide, they produce. Yes, but who actually, it runs by a demigod called Pavandev, Vayudev. It's not like automatically. Because there's so many airs, but we're taking only oxygen. It's not like we are deciding. This is given by this Pavandev very diligently. Then text 5, which we did last week, the subject change. 5 to 8, 5, 6, 7, 8, 4 verses. Remembrance of Krishna at death. So that's very important. So 5, we talked about those who at the time of death remember me, Krishna says. What happened to them? Relinquish their material body and attain my state of being. Of this, there is no doubt. And with that note, we are beginning text 6. If anybody would like volunteer, Ajit Prabhu or someone, whoever has a book.
Yes, Prabhu, I'll be glad to.
Okay, so text 6. What is to remember at the time of death? That is so important. So this is what we're going to hear, and let's see what Prabhupada says.
Okay.
Please go ahead.
Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajati ante kalveram tam tam evati kanteya sada tadbhava haivita. Translation.
Synonyms, if possible, synonyms, the word to word.
Yes. Okay.
Because I tell you why, I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you.
That's okay, Prabhu.
Some devotee may have some question, intelligent question, that sometimes translation from one book to another book or different acharya has a different translation. So what we need to do, we need to be aware why Prabhupada gave these synonyms. Without looking at Prabhupada's translation, look at word-to-word meaning and come up with the translation yourself. Then you see Prabhupada's translation, you say, wow, he came up with a beautiful. You may get, by Krishna's grace, you may get one angle of vision. And you'll see different acharya talks the same sloka in a different translation. Now, if you are familiar with yam yam, whatever we just read, ba api at all, this is Prabhupada. If you are Sanskrit scholar, you can say ba means or, and api means also. But Prabhupada here he puts at all. So either way, because another sloka translation, be familiar with it, so then you will have no problem. Okay, Bhaktivinoda Thakur translated this way, Prabhupada translated this way, different Acharya Baladev Vidyabhushan, so we will not have a problem. So Prabhu, go ahead, sorry.
Okay, thank you. Yam yam, whatever, va, either, api, also, shmaram, remembering, bhavaram, nature, tyajati, give up, ante, at the end, kalevaram, this body, tam, similar, eva, certainly, eti, gets, kanteya, O son of Kunti, sada, always, tat, that, bhava, state of being, bhavita, remembering. One second, turning the page. Translation. Whatever state of being one remembers when he quits his body, that state he will attain without fail. Purport. The process of changing one's nature at the critical moment of death is here explained. How can one die in the proper state of mind? Maharaja Bharata thought of a deer at the time of death, and so was transferred to that form of life. However, as a deer, Maharaja Bharata could remember his past activities. Of course, the cumulative effect of the thoughts and actions of one's life influences one's thought at the moment of death. Therefore, the action of this life determines one's future state of being. If one is transcendentally absorbed in Krishna's service, then his next body will be transcendental, spiritual, not physical. Therefore, the chanting of Hare Krishna is the best process for successfully changing one's state of being to transcendental life.
I don't know where I got this translation purport has a little difference, but interesting. Okay, that's good. So, sometimes you can practice, really, Prabhus and mothers. Don't look at the translation. Mother Kaylee, you are there also. You can look at word to word meaning and see if you can translate it without looking at Prabhupada's. And then you will appreciate, oh, he got that view that way. Yum, yum, whatever. That's why I like word to word meaning. Ba api at all, smaran, remembering, bhavam, nature. Bhavam means feeling, bhav, nature. Tejati gives up, ante at the end. So whatever state of being one remember, when he quits his body, O son of Kunti, Kunteya, that state he will attain without fail. So Krishna is saying, jam jam bapi smaran bhavam. Whatever bhava we remember at the time of death, tejati ante kalaivaram. At that time, we are giving up the body. Now, giving up the body, you are not inside the body, you are floating on the 5 air inside the body. If you really meditate very strictly, I did this few times, you can see your body is actually shaking. Very minute scale, but it's shaking. If you pay very close attention, you will see whole body is shaking. Because the soul, you, inside the body, are floating in the air, 5 airs. 2.17, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna explained that. I mean, Prabhupada put that in the purport. And with a fine intelligence, actually, you will start seeing your presence in the body. He said, oh my God, I'm not this body, I can see. I'm separately from this body. Tam eveti konteya, then that one will attain. Sada tad bhava bhavita. So the word bhava has come in the previous verse also. 8.5, he says mad bhavam. Last week we read. So Krishna says, they will attain my nature. Those who remember me at the time of death. So Krishna is saying, this is the best, supermost application of principle. And the principle is that whatever we remember, that we will attain. So whatever bhava we have, that ultimately we will attain. Right now, Prabhus and mothers, if you close your eye, am I still speaking? You may not see me, but through the sound, you can see my presence. Your eyes are closed. If you close your eye right now, I'm still there. You can hear it. And if I'm not there, you can still see something is reflecting in front of you, your mind. So moment of death is not like how this will exactly take place. It's like a screen in front of you. This is all the attachment you had in life. They will show. And what you want to remember, Krishna's, those impressions also will be there in front. So both will manifest. Why do we need both? It will be there for both, for each of us. Where you draw your highest happiness from, you will pick that. It will be like flashing, Hey, you like that, you like that. You want to think of that person. You want to think of that scenario or whatever, attachment. Wherever we invested our emotion most powerful emotion we have, hate, resentment. Love is not a very strong, powerful emotion. More than love is hate, resentment. People can be very deep, envy. These are very powerful emotions. Kongso exhibited, Koshibo exhibited. They're more powerful than other emotion. So we have to be very careful. Where we invest our emotion, those impressions will pop. And if you say, you are about to leave this body, because you are floating, it will come out of the body. But those impression comes, and you're like, yeah, I just didn't like that person. You get a body of that kind of envy. Well, I'm not trying to scare you, but Krishna said in Akadashi Mahatma one story that where the snakes, scorpions, they are born out of envy. That's scary. If you want to cheat someone and depends taking advantage of somebody's life and you just exploiting, then you become like a little pet animal. It's actually scary to think very deeply. I know we like pet, but to become a pet is different than we like pet. It's a big difference, believe or not. Because now as a human being, human being is the only species that can reflect, contemplate, meditate, and obey God and go back home. Animal cannot have that access of realization, contemplation. They cannot think the way human thinks. They may have a material brain. Yeah, monkey has very high intelligence. So many animals can even sense the weather before something bad happens. Sure, cat, dog, they are very sensitive to the lower creatures. Like before something accident happened, they could sense it. That doesn't mean they have access to meditate on God. That doesn't mean, like a monkeys in India, they have proven that monkey can be very sensitive on the enmity of other person. They can be very fully aware. That doesn't mean, it's like, for an example, in my house, if there is a cobra in one room, I have no clue until I see it in a light. But if there is a mice in my house, mice can feel the sensation with this RPS, the vibration on the air. The sound of the snake causes so much fear, just the slithering move. They can hear it from the other room. But as a human, I'm supposed to be superior. Superior for spiritual light, not for material senses. Like just like the eagle, they can see, Prabhupada said, even 4 miles far above where the dead body food is. They can just fly and grab that food and run back. I don't have a food if I don't cook or I don't open the door, I cannot make money. I have to go to work to make money. So from that angle, eagles, they don't have to go to job. They can get free food just by far vision with their eyes. So yes, different animal or species may have a eating, sleeping, mating, different, or survival in this world may be far advanced than us, possible. But as for going back home, no. You cannot call all the dog tomorrow, come to temple, we'll have a Bhagavad Gita class. I doubt even one dog will show up. Anyway, back to this. So Jam Jam Be Bishmaran Bhavam. So we see that Bharat Maharaj remembered deer. Prabhupada gave that example. He got the body of deer. Tam tamevati kunteya is what will attain. Sada tad bhava bhavita. Please, Prabhu, if we very deeply think, tad bhava bhavita means Krishna is telling the bhavita is remembering eventually becomes so subtle, is like a template of the gross. In Bhagavatam, it is said by looking at the state of subtle body, if I say, can you catch your mind? You have no idea where the mind is. But you want to pay attention to hear about Krishna, you'll see some objection coming. You're just gone. What about that? What about this? What about this? That is mind is doing. So you can catch the mind. And how do you punish the mind? No, I'm going to pay attention. But in order to catch, it's not a physical, so you cannot catch. But subtle way you can punish the mind. So one can understand that one's past was what one's future is going to be. That means if I look at the subtle body and found a lot of lusty thought over there, that means in my past, I must have engaged in a lot of lust. And that is why I have that kind of thoughts now. It is also indicated if this is the kind of thought I will be continue with them, then I will get another body, wherein I will fulfill the lusty desire. Prabhus and mothers, these are the real fact. These are the truth. So, of course, the lusty thoughts may be there, but point is, are we encouraging those thoughts or quelching those thoughts? That power we have. Either we can encourage or square. We stimulating those thoughts by further imagining things or when they come, nothing doing. You can literally say, I don't want to think about it. Why it is bothering me within me. You literally pray. You notice. Nobody else will notice. Your spouse, your children, your parents, nobody will know what your thought is coming within you. You can choose, make a choice. Krishna, I don't like this thought. This will bind me and pull me down. Please help me. Please help me. You keep on saying this 1 day, 2 days, 1,000 times maybe. Why it is not going? Because it's deeply rooted. One day you will see this will evaporate. What is our response? That is important. So the point is subtle, is the template of the gross. Whatever the state of subtle body, accordingly, we will get a gross body. Tad bhava bhavita. If you look at the break the word to word meaning. Tat means that, bhava, whatever thought you have, bhavita, you'll get it. So Krishna is giving this general principle. These two verses, the 5 and 6, today we just did, are often referred as the law of last thought. We may have heard of law of gravity, law of motion, laws of electromagnetism. These are laws at gross realm. But here we are talking about law which intercedes intellectual, subtle, and gross realm. This principle is at subtle level. Because soul is involved and soul is transmigrating, soul is getting a gross body. So it involves all three. And law of last thought is whatever we think about at the time of death, that we will attain. Here again, we can see Srila Prabhupada quoted full Mahamantra just in previous verse. He has quoted 2 times, and again he has quoted here. Bharat Maharaj is a very good example that Prabhupada gave. He literally thought of the deer and he developed an affection for it, not knowing that he will become a deer. And he did. He became a deer. When Narad Muni asked Puranjan, I remember your last life. I came to you. How did you become a girl in this life? He said, I don't know. I wanted to enjoy the girl. And I became the girl. He said, this is the mystery of karma. People don't understand karma, how it works. They always remain hungry. They will never satisfy completely. Dushparana nalenacha. Dushpar. Impossible. They will be completely happy. It's just a game. They will play life after life. And Gita discussed the moment of death so much, you can say. We'll discuss that. Mother Kaylee, you have a raised hand. You have something to share?
Oh yeah, Hare Krishna. This was a little bit earlier when you were talking about like our thoughts and how it's kind of due to past karma. I also wanted to ask because I've noticed like some places my thoughts are really sweet and loving and more pure, and then other places my thoughts are like really crazy. So does it also depend on like the environment, the surroundings? Do those like, does that have effect on our mind and our thoughts?
It can, but generally atmosphere cannot influence us so much as impression in a dormant or latent state within our heart.
Mhm.
When I say I have invested so much on certain thing or particular person, and all of a sudden those things coming, just like last week we talked about this Germany devotee. He was not born as a devotee. He remembered pizza. Now we think it's easy. He could just think pizza is offerable to Krishna. This is, we are talking right now because we are not in that situation. But if you sit down quietly, just try today after the class, sit down quietly and you say, I don't want to think anything. You will see how many thought is passing through. Wait a minute, I didn't want it. How is that? It's not up to us. How many thought will pass through is not up to us. It is pre-impressed and it will pass through like a movie. What control we have? What do we want to focus on? Out of 10 thought, 1 thought we could focus. Okay, I went to temple. Okay, let me think about it. Yeah, that was nice. We were dancing, chanting. That was very nice. You can choose what to focus, but you don't have a choice what is passing through. Bharat did not want to think of the deer at the moment of death, but it is passing through. And it is so powerful that he forgot God. He was so advanced devotee. I mean, I'm serious. He was so advanced. Prabhupada says he was almost Bhava Bhakta. Such a high stage. Even that he deviated. So thought is a very powerful. Now, when we don't want any thought, it is, I don't like this thought, why it is coming through, you may go to, it is not going to go away. You really have to do some endeavor. You have to pray to Krishna. Say, I don't want those bad thoughts. Please, Prabhu, help me to eliminate this. Now you may say, why Krishna sanctioned those bad thoughts? Now without his sanction doesn't come. Krishna is not a dictator. He is a loving God. When you had invested to think of those thoughts at one point in your some life, Krishna is not going to throw it away. Krishna will send it. May not be full-fledged, little-fledged. But you will say, I'm chanting so nicely every day. I'm a good devotee, serious devotee. Why did bad thought is like not leaving me alone? It is not a bad thought. At one life, you love those thoughts. You acted on it. Now as a devotee, you don't like it. some life. That's all you wanted. Krishna is a very kind. Dhruva Maharaj actually contemplated. He wants a bigger kingdom than his father and grandfather. Krishna could have think, okay, I'm not going to give him because these are material. No, Krishna gives whatever we desired, we wanted. And then, of course, he regretted. Dhruva Maharaj regretted. My Lord, after seeing you, I don't want any of this. But still Krishna gave him. No, no, you wanted. You really wanted. That's the only motive you had to reach me. He did not come for Krishna Prem. Dhruva Maharaj did not come for Krishna Prem. He wanted God to get a bigger kingdom than his father or grandfather. And Krishna gave him. But then he realized it is simply wasting time to ask anything material, bigger than grandfather. It's like simply wasting. But still he had to pass through 36,000 years. Of course, those days, 36,000 is like 1/3 of your life. Satyajuga story. So point is that whatever we want, we have to be very serious. No, no, Prabhu, I want Krishna Prem. Are you acting on it? Or you like Bollywood movie? Ask yourself. You say, well, I like Bollywood movie, but actually I want Krishna Prem. Then you have to act on Krishna Prem. It's not going to happen automatically. You are product of your own decision. It's a fact. We have to be very careful. So you have to be careful, that's all. Does that make sense, Mother Kelly?
Yes, yes. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Okay. So one question is, why does Gita discuss the moment of death so much? I wrote a little note. Because 8th chapter is centered, believe or not, this whole chapter is centered on the theme of one's consciousness at the moment of death. Now, in fact, Krishna has referred to that theme earlier. Guess where? The last verse on 2nd chapter. We talked about it 2 weeks back. That Prabhupada said we have a 2 axes. One is, he said spiritual world and devotional service both are on the same level, absolute platform. But one you have access, one you don't have. What do we have access? Spiritual world or spiritual devotional service? Which one? Devotional service. And Prabhupada said, if you are attached to serving Krishna, if you are attached to chanting Krishna, then you are as good as reaching Krishna. This is so wonderful. Before Mahaprabhu came, we could not say like this. Mahaprabhu, we are indebted to Mahaprabhu for that. Then again, previous chapter, 30 verse also talk about death. So why does Krishna discuss the topic so much? Well, if we seek a contextual reason, you can see Kurukshetra, battlefield, setting stares us in the face. In the impending war, countless people were like to die. That list could include Arjuna's loved ones in both his army and in the opposing army. In fact, Arjuna's reluctance to fight arose from his fear of his death of his relative, isn't? I hope you remember. First chapter 31 verse, I remember still. That verse Arjuna confessed, he doesn't feel comfortable to kill his own grandfather, guru. This is not something he likes. Especially his venerable elders. 2nd chapter 4-5, he also said that. While this contextual reason for the Gita's discussion about death is valid, it is not complete. Just as Gita's core message transcends its context, so does its discussion about death. Krishna wants to equip us for making the transition of death fruitfully. For most people, death is a fearsome prospect, for they think it will annihilate their very existence. Believe or not, those who are not studying this science, even religious people, they literally finish, they are finished. They literally believe that. The biggest religion in the world, the two biggest religion, they have no clue actually after death. Their literature doesn't talk about it. What if they have sometimes entertained the idea of an afterlife? Still, they may fear the nature of their post-mortem existence. After death, what will happen? So what about those who understand the eternality, like us, of the soul and its transmigration? What about them? Well, we won't see death as a chilling, but we will still see it as a consequential. It is a vital junction where their post-mortem destination is determined. What determines that destination, you may ask? It is primarily our consciousness at the time of death. Hence, Krishna devotees sufficient time to explain the psychological and spiritual dynamics of that moment. He wants to equip Arjuna. This is Krishna's desire. All of us, not only Arjuna Prabhus, all of ISKCON devotees, all of the Vaishnavas, Krishna has a purpose for navigating, like GPS gives you, takes you, that grave moment gracefully. So hopefully we can remember, because our consciousness at the moment of death determines, I'm pounding those sentences again in my head. What it determines? Our post-mortem destination. And Krishna discusses that moment to help us prepare for that final moment. Shailesh Prabhu, you have raised hand. Would you like to share something, Prabhu?
Hare Krishna
Hare
to
Krishna, Prabhu.
everyone. Dandavat pranams. So my question is that isn't this last part of this sloka sada tad bhava bhavitaha has not been included in the translation, because it's kind of like Bhagavan Sri Krishna has given the reason that state he will attain without fail because he has been in this state of consciousness for a while, you know. Sada tad bhava bhavita. So it's not like last moment counts. Not only last moment counts, but that is because he has been into that bhava for a long time. So Bharat Maharaja just didn't happen that he just lastly saw deer's head and then became deer. He was involved or immersed himself into that Haran's life, you know, for a while. And that's why. So it's kind of like it gives a protection to devotee if they are like died suddenly. Then this is why I didn't have time to remember Krishna. But Bhagavan Sri Krishna says, no, you have been into my bhava for a while. So that sada tad bhava bhavita should have been included. It's kind of like whatever state of being one remembers when he quits his body or son of Kunti, that state he will will attain without fail because he has been into that bhava or in that consciousness for a while. That's my understanding a little bit. Prabhu, you can elaborate that. I will stop here.
That's a very nice Very nice, thoughtful inquiry, Prabhu, and explanation. Very nice. Yes, whatever state of being I remember when I give up my body. But we have to understand that when we say bhava here means emotional investment. You know, Jara Bharat used to do arati. While he's doing arati, oh no, where the deer is? Oh no. Now, are you doing arati to Bhagavan, or you are automatically drawn to the deer? He was aware that he's getting distracted. He could pull it back. Why he didn't pull it back? Maybe Krishna has a plan to show through him that, hey, there is a danger. I may be chanting whole life, and last part of my life, I could be like sense enjoyer completely. Now you say, well, for many years, decades, you were chanting. Now you, at the last moment of death, you are thinking of ice cream, whatever. So how can you not get spiritual body, spiritual destination? No, at the moment of death, if I'm thinking ice cream, I have to come to this material existence where to experience this again. Because I choose. Now, what about all the practice I did for decades? They're not gone. They're there. I'll be given a chance again. So if we look at Jara Bharat life, Prabhu, Jara Bharat got a deer body. But what happened in the deer body? Was he acting as a deer? No. He got a deer body. He saw the other deers are tempting him. Come on, we'll run and play and eat grass, enjoy life. The deer was not going. If you read the Bhagavatam, that part, last part, Jara Bharat was trying to be around the ashram. He remembered, I did a big mistake. What am I doing in the deer body? I'm supposed to be thinking of Krishna. I did not do this. A last moment in my life, I wasted. I'm not going to act like a deer. Now he got the deer body. He didn't act like a deer. He's just waiting. He could have killed himself. He knows that that's bad. I got this as a result of my previous attachment, but I'm not going to. I'll just wait. I'll just wait till the death comes, and I'm going to concentrate on Krishna. So he did, and he got another opportunity. But when he came in that body, Jara Bharat, he was careful not to mix with anybody or follow any rules, regulation of the rituals. He wanted to absorb in Krishna. That's why he was acting little, you can say in a, I don't know, slang way, dummy, deaf, dumb. He was purposely, it's not that he was not, he was purposely acting like this because he doesn't want to follow the rituals. He doesn't want to do, he wants to be completely absorbed in Krishna. Now, I don't know if everybody has to go through like that, but if we are careful, Krishna will guide us. Nothing is lost. Spiritual progress, nothing is lost. At the same time, we have to be careful. One question, Prabhu. I may be chanting 64 rounds. But if I am a nasty behavior with some people, you think they care whether I chant 64 rounds, I'm advanced, or I am a bad guy or good? Do they care? No, they don't care what spiritually I do. They care that I behave so badly with them. That's all they will remember. Am I right or wrong?
um,
I mean, be honest.
No,
If I
this
am
is
really
like a
bad,
protection. So it is, it's, if we take, let's say, a bad example, somebody who has never thought about Krishna, but somebody who came into devotees one time, he says, you know what, if you quit your body remembering Krishna, then you can go to Krishna. And then he says, you know what, while this kirtan is going on, I can put a gun to my head and I'll go to Krishna. And Krishna says, no, 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 you have not been Sadatat Bhava Bhavita. You have always been in other bhavas. You're not going to come to me. You know, so you have Krishna. Not only what bhavas do you have at the time of death, but you have to be immersed into those Krishna's bhav before that too. So those are the two requirements. You know, so that's what I was thinking in that Sadatat Bhava Bhavita is that the last 1/4 stanza is added to that. You know.
good understanding, Prabhu. Yes, that's why I brought that example. If you put both example, then it's perfect. Because if I am really thinking of Krishna, then Bhaktivinoda Thakur said 4 things will manifest in the heart. If I'm really chanting seriously and I'm thinking of Krishna, 4 things must manifest in the heart. One is Danya. Danya means no opposition to the command of my Guru, Krishna. I am his unlimited supreme controller. He is my master, preeminently lovable person. I am a insignificant servant. This is first, Danya. Then Daya, tenderness towards others, will automatically appear. So if I'm chanting 64 rounds, but I behave badly with the others, that's not actually happening. It is not possible. Natural affection, natural care for others will rise in the heart. They are cutting trees. Prabhupada had like a literary tears in his eye. He said, why they're cutting the trees? Why you have to destroy? Why you have to kill? Even for the trees, it's natural. Danya daya, amanina. Not looking for my own prestige. Not looking if somebody praise me or like me, then I'm good, advancing. No, doesn't matter. Manadena, always as inspiring others, appreciating others, respecting others. These 4 things must arise. You made a very good point that bhava bhavita, yes, but bhava, what are the symptoms? These are the symptoms. Because I may not know how your bhava is, you may not know my bhava is. We may be chanting and following very nicely for decades. But those are the symptoms will manifest outside. Then we say, okay, that person is advanced. So this is a very good discussion. Thank you, Shailesh Prabhu, for bringing these wonderful, important points. So let's see, it's already 1 hour. Should we? No, I think we'll wait till next week. If we stick to the 1 hour, is better. Then we'll go. 8.7 next week. It's very important verse. Is one of the most important verse to me. I always love that verse. I don't know why. Because not every place, as Krishna says, that without doubt you will come back to me if you do this. So this is definitely good. Prahladananda Prabhu, please give us some nectar.
Prabhuji, thank you very much. Dandavat Pranam. This sloka reminds me of King Kulsekhar's prayer also. Krishna tvadiya pad pankaj panjarantam advai me visatu manasaraj hansa. Pran pran samay kafvat pitta kant avradano without smaranam kutaste. So he is praying that, he's such a great alvar. He is still praying that, uh, uh, because of my all, condition at the time of death, please help me to remember you. And now when I'm okay in my health, please let me remember you. Again, this Neha Bikram Nasosti Pratyavana Vidyate, that is a great solace for me. I feel so good about it because since I started, Krishna consciousness back in 1984, the life has gone very smooth. it was at sea before. After that, somehow, it has gone smooth in the sense that, I don't feel much problems with life. And it kind of conducive to Lord Krishna's, reading Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam and all, doing satsang and all that. So I think that, once somebody goes to Lord Krishna, the service through proper channel like Sri Prabhupada's literature and, bona fide gurus, then you are in touch with Lord Krishna. And also I have heard another slok from Varapuran, that yadi vatadik dosena mama bhakta vismaret,
Yes.
because of some bodily disturbance, then I will make him remember me. So it is all pleasant journey. That's what I feel, that I'm at the far end of my life, but then I feel so good about it. And throughout Sripad Radha Govind Swami, I've been hearing, he says, you don't do anything, just hear Krishna Katha. The more you hear, the more you are likely to remember him at the time of death. So that's what I concentrate so much. I don't miss any of your class. I don't miss any of the opportunity listening to Krishna Katha, So that's how kind of, Bhagavan Krishna is so favorable to us through Prabhupada's mercy that, he makes us make your life so conducive to doing Krishna Katha. So that's my experience, Prabhuji. Thank you very much for allowing me to speak.
Thank you. This is very true. It's very true. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So looking forward to see you next year. Wow. Next year. Yeah. It's only a few days. Have a wonderful, I hope you had a wonderful year. Maybe you can reflect what you have invested in spiritual life. If you make a journal, it'll be nice. It's good to have a reflection of spiritual advancement. Where were you? How far you have come? How this journey took place. These are nice, healthy. Thank you. Thank you, Prabhus and mothers. I'm looking forward to see you all next Wednesday. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Vancha Kalpataru Vishya Kripa Sindhu Bevacha Paditanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnava
Hare.
Shila Prabhupada ki jai.